Please join me in singing 391, Voice Still and Small.
I invite you to rise as you're willing and able and join me in our chalice lighting by Kimberly Ann Tomazk Carlson. We are a people of memory. As inheritors of our ancestors' legacy, we hold their stories tenderly, gleaning wisdom from diverse journeys, united in hope for the future. Guide us to trust in love as we kindle this flame together. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Doug, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to St. John's Unitarian Universalist Church. Today, Earth Spirit will be leading the service. St. John's is proud to be a welcoming congregation, and as such, we honor and value the racial, economic, cultural, age, physical ability, sexual orientation, and gender diversity of our members and visitors. Know that wherever you are in your journey and however you are feeling, you are welcome here, and we're happy you chose to be with us today. A special welcome to visitors this morning. I invite you to stop by the welcome table in our lobby and to join us for refreshments and conversation in our fellowship hall after the service. There are many great things happening at St. John's. Please take a look at the announcements in your order of service. You may also want to check the bulletin boards in our fellowship hall. We have a couple recent announcements. This is from Claire Wagner. The effort to create a citizen-led redistricting commission needs to resubmit its petition due to a typo. Ohio voters, please see Claire Wagner after service to sign the updated 1,000 signature petition to submit to the Ohio Attorney General. Once reapproved, we'll be collecting over 413,000 signatures through June. Earth Spirit would like to invite the congregation to our winter solstice celebration on the evening of December 19th. More plans will be forthcoming in the bulletin and e-news, but we are currently planning to hold a ritual outside, followed by crafts, music, and food in Krollpfeifer. We are familiar with Halloween on October 31st. In ancient times, the Celts celebrated Samhain. It is a Celtic pagan holiday where we honor our ancestors. Long ago in our ancient history, it was the third and last harvest celebration in which the last of the crops are brought in and made ready to last throughout the long winter. There is less daylight, and the dark nights are longer. Try to imagine living without electric lights. Long, cold, dark nights and meager candlelight to keep the shadows at bay. It is a time of reflection when you may think of the past year or those who you've lost recently or in times past. During today's service, we will be having two brief rituals. In the first ritual, we will be honoring our loved ones who have moved on. If you haven't already, you are welcome to place a photo of your loved ones on our ancestor altar. The second ritual will focus on releasing that which does not serve us: emotions, thoughts, troubles, people. Please raise your hand if you don't have a slip of paper and pencil to write those down, and we will bring them to you. As a reminder, please turn off or silence your cell phones, and again, welcome to all here this morning.
Our reading this morning is Why You Want a Physicist to Speak at Your Funeral by Aaron Freeman. You want a physicist to speak at your funeral. You want the physicist to talk to your grieving family about conservation of energy, so they will understand that your energy has not died. You want the physicist to remind your sobbing mother about the first law of thermodynamics, that no energy gets created in the universe and none is destroyed. You want your mother to know that all of your energy, every vibration, every BTU of heat, every wave of every particle that was her beloved child remains in the world. You want the physicist to tell your weeping father that amid energies of the cosmos, you gave as good as you got. And at one point, you'd hope that the physicist would step down from the pulpit and walk to your broken-hearted spouse there in the pew and tell them that all the photons that ever bounced off your face, all the particles whose paths were interrupted by your smile, by the touch of your hair, hundreds of trillions of particles have raced off like children, their ways forever changed by you. And as your widow rocks in the arms of a loving family, may the physicist let her know that all the photons that bounced from you were gathered in the particle detectors that are her eyes. That those photons created within her constellations of electromagnetically charged neurons whose energies will go on forever. And the physicist will remind the congregation of how much all our energy is given off as heat. There may be a few fanning themselves with their programs as he says it. And he will tell them that the warmth that flowed through your life, you in life, is still here, still part of all that we are, even as we who mourn continue the heat of our own lives. And you'll want the physicist to explain to those who loved you that they need not have faith. Indeed, they should not have faith. Let them know that they can measure, that scientists have measured precisely the conservation of energy and found it accurate, verifiable, and consistent across space-time. You can hope your family will examine the evidence and satisfy themselves that the science is sound and that they'll be comforted to know your energy is still around. According to the law of the conservation of energy, not a bit of you is gone. You're just less orderly.
Our next song is in the Teal hymnal, 1051, We Are. And before we start, I want to do the road map. So you sing the first two lines, and then you go back and repeat that. Then you go to the bottom system on the first page, and you sing through that and through page, second page, onto the third page to where you see the repeat sign on the bottom, toward the bottom of the third page, and then you go back and you repeat that long part. Then we go at the bottom of the third page and we sing through, and then on the last two systems of the bottom of the fourth page, we're supposed to sing that 4 times. If you say, you look through and it says go back, repeat 3 times, so you sing it 4 times. And as we sing that, those last 2 lines, each time I'd like us to sing it a little softer, so it's like we're moving away.
I invite you to join me in reciting our affirmation. This is the mission of our faith, to teach the fragile art of hospitality, to revere both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, and to witness to all that we must hold the whole world in our hands. Sharing our joys and concerns is a sacred time in our worship together. It is a recognition that all of who we are matters. The joys, the sorrows, the delights, and the worries, all that we bring into this space. Here at St. John's, we honor our joys and concerns by coming forward to place stones representing all that we carry into the sand that represents the many and unique parts of our beloved community over all the years we have existed. If you would like a joy or concern to be read and you're present with us in the room, please leave them on the table. If you are online, please enter them in the chat, and they will be shared with us up front. We put a final stone in the sand for all of the joys and concerns that remain in our hearts. We make a valiant attempt that was successful to light the candle in the middle. I'm going to invite Ashley forward to offer our story for all ages.
Good morning. You know what? I'm actually going to sit with you guys because you guys are going to help me look at the story. So, here. Perfect. Thank you. All right. My name is Ashley Rhodes, and I am in charge of the children's programming here. And we are going to read a story this morning called Little Moon's Samhain Adventure. Now, do you guys know what Samhain is? It's Halloween. You guys know what Halloween is? Yes. So, Halloween, what does Halloween mean to you all? Spooky.
Just walking around the street collecting candy.
Candy, right? So, but what we're doing today, upstairs at least, and a little bit downstairs, is it's also like an important turning point in the year. What's going on with the weather right now and the length of the days? It's getting cold. It's raining a lot. Does it feel like things are getting darker? Yeah. So Samhain is a changing in. It's like an end of the year celebration because if we were farming, this would be the time when we'd brought in all of the crops and we'd be storing it away and we'd be getting ready to like batten down the hatches for winter. Okay, so keep that in mind. So all of this. So, Little Moon woke with a stretch and a yawn. The moon shone down on a frosty lawn. Wakey, wakey, sleepyhead, it's time to jump out of bed. As the sun begins to rise, it's Samhain, Little Moon cries. And so begins this story when one year ends and the next year begins. The nights grow dark and the wind blows leaves in an arc. I've noticed a lot more leaves on the ground. Have you all noticed that? Yeah. No more sleeps, no more sleeps, no more sleeps, Mom heard as Little Moon skidded through the door. Why would she skid through the door? Does she sound excited? Yeah. Oh, wow. There on the table is the biggest pumpkin you ever saw. It was nearly as big as Little Moon is tall. A waft of hot chocolate fills the air, and Mum strokes Little Moon's hair with care. It is time for snuggles and tales of times before, listening to ancestral lore. That's one good thing about the fall, right? We get to have hot chocolate. Yeah. Shared tales of memories remembered, stories begged of the times when Little Moon was too small. Do you ever do that? Ask for stories about, like, you were there, but you don't remember it. Yeah. And also those of ancestors who came way before. So you weren't there, I wasn't there, but they're still important stories. As the last sip is drunk, the day begins with fun galore. Pumpkins are carved, masks are created, soul cakes are baked, memories made. But the most fun of all is when the sun begins to fall. The table places are laid and homage paid. Mum holds Little Moon's hand as out go the lights and they step into the night. With a tummy full of treats, Little Moon spots the bonfire that awaits. With their head resting in Mum's lap and the bonfire warming their back, Little Moon begins to drift to a world full of folklore, wonder, and myth. The stars above their head dance, and images appear in a trance. Hooves sound like thunder as the wild hunt appears. Yapping and howling fills the sky. It is time. The wheel is turned, and fates are burned. The leaves fall, and the old year is no more. Storms, magic, and sudden change as the stars rearrange. Gwyn jumps down and dresses in his holly gown. It is time for him to finally take the Oak King's crown. Little Moon watches as the two kings battle, and quietly the queen begins to alter. The last of her cycle for this year, crone she becomes, the one most dear. It is time for the last of tonight's guests to appear. Please welcome the blue hag with a cheer. Now don't be afraid, she's not what you hear. She doesn't eat children, just herds deer. Powerful and wise, here to guide you through winter, cold and bitter, waiting for spring to arise. A sleepy little moon with a smile upon their face, a story read as Mom tucks them in bed.
Something really
And so the story ends until the next turn of the wheel. And that's the end of our story. All right, so we are all going to go downstairs. Thank you all for listening. All right.
As we move into our time of meditation, I invite you to join me in also holding a couple of joys from our online participants. Melissa Rowland says there are 12 households in service online today, which is remarkable. And she was also offered a joy about the beautiful group of young people at church today. And from Beth Van Wassenhove, in celebration of the birth of my nephew Van to my sister Mary and her partner Kevin. I invite you into a spirit of prayer meditation with these words by Liz Weber. Spirit of life, help us to be present with all that is our life, both our deepest sorrows and our greatest joys, so that we can truly live, engaging fully in our own life and in our community. Spirit of community, help us to know how linked we are, how each one of our cares touches us all. Help us to ask for support when we are in need, and offer our support to others when we are able, so that we may rest in the solace of one another's love. Spirit of love, help us to love our neighbor as we love ourselves, so that we might fully embody love and resist hatred. Spirit of resistance, help us to stick up for what is right, even when we are tired and afraid. Help us to dream of the world as it should be and act to bring that world about. Help us to find hope each day. Spirit of hope, help us through this day and each day. Help us to be present for all that is our life. For this we pray. Amen. Blessed be.
At this time and to this place, we come for a purpose, to celebrate the season at this cross quarter, which we call Samhain, to remember our ancestors and to know our participation in that which is greater than us. Let us now invite our ancestors to join our service.
Mothers, fathers, children, grandfathers, grandmothers, grandchildren, ancestors we knew in this life, and ancestors whose names are lost to us. We invite you to our service. We thank you for giving us life, for caring for us when we were young and helpless, and for teaching us to stand on our own. We remember you at your best. If there's an ancestor you would remember, call their name now, either silently or aloud.
John Borges.
Virginia.
Beloved ancestors, accept this offering of food and drink, given with honor and with love.
Ancestors most ancient, you who share few of our genes, you who lived on a very different earth, an earth we can't even now imagine, we invite you to our service. We thank you for surviving under most difficult circumstances. Ancestors of our origin, long extinct mammals and even older vertebrates, smaller and simpler creatures stretching back to the first life. Sometimes we struggle to see ourselves in you, but without you, we would not be.
Ancestors of spirit, friends and animal companions who have passed, we invite you to our service. We do not carry your blood, but we carry your spirit, your thoughts, your ideas, your dreams. We thank you for inspiring and enlightening us, and for founding and creating the traditions and institutions that mean so much to us. If there's a spiritual ancestor you would remember, call their name now, silently or aloud.
Silk.
Beloved ancestors, accept this offering of food and drink, given with honor and with love.
Ancestors we knew in life, ancestors whose names we know not, ancestors of spirit and ancestors most ancient, we thank you for attending our service and blessing us with your presence. May there be peace and love between us now and forever.
Now let us see through the eyes of our oldest ancestors, the first forms of life to behold this world. Close your eyes and at the same time open to the world around you. Gently and without judgment, open. Like ancient matter in the moment of its first glimmer of consciousness, open to all the sensations by which the world presents itself here and now. Open to the sensations of touch, your feet on the ground, the temperature on your skin, the drape of clothes against your body, the rise and fall of the chest with each breath, and any tension in the body melting away. Open to the sensations of smell, the fragrance in the air, the quality of the air. Open to the sensation of sound, the ambient sounds, and the silences between. Now, slowly open your eyes and behold the sensations of sight, the colors and patterns that slowly form themselves into recognizable objects. Open finally to that inward sense, the thoughts, feelings, and emotions passing through you. Through these 6 foundations of experience, the world presents itself, and the universe perceives its own reflection.
The offering that we take each Sunday isn't just a stale habit. It's an opportunity to recommit to this place and to this people. Our offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give away, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts freely given, may we say yes to the values of our faith. May our offering help us practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond our walls as tools to empower our mission. St. John's is committed to creating a safe and caring community, working for peace and social justice, and celebrating beliefs that respect freedom of thought.
You gonna do a prayer or anything? I'm good. It's okay. Good morning. I'll move. First time using a headset, sorry. I want to extend a personal thank you to everyone who participated in the service today and for all of you for showing up. Doug spoke a little bit about Samhain. I'm going to repeat some of that just so we all know why we're here today. Samhain is a Gallic festival, once celebrated over 2 or 3 days between the end of October and the beginning of November. It traditionally marks the end of the harvest and entry into the darker half of the year, or wintertime. This liminal, or in-between time, is a transition between summer and winter, belonging to neither. Liminal time and space were critical to the Celts, and many important events were held then. Samhain was a period outside of time, and the rules that governed the living and the spirit worlds didn't apply. Both could move in and out of the other, and many rituals and practices were designed to protect the living from spirits they thought were evil. Last year, I talked about the importance of celebrating life and honoring death. Gaining an understanding of and accepting the role that death plays in all of our lives is critical, I think, to living a content and happy life. Since death is really an unknown, there are varying ideas about what happens when we die. Some folks, like me, have difficulty settling on one idea. After all, even the individuals who have had near-death experiences don't always agree on what they are like. Since I started doing work in energy therapy, my concerns and worries about death have diminished considerably. I've learned that not only are we composed of energy, but that energy never dies. It is simply transformed. I see this body as a simple container. The energy that is the essence of who I am will unite with the rest of the energies that surround us every day and make up this universe. Still, I'm one of those people who needs to see to believe, so I continue to wonder and worry at some level. Last year, someone suggested that it might be lingering grief from loss in the past that might be contributing to some of this anxiety. So I did an exercise to test that out. I didn't think so. I didn't think I had experienced the kind of loss others had or were able to manage. So while journaling, I made a list, and I discovered that there had been 38 deaths of close family, friends, coworkers, and animals that I could remember. That number increased by 1 this year with the death of my uncle to 39. One year, 2008, I lost 12 people. And that doesn't, I suspect many folks might come up with a similar list. And that doesn't include all of the deaths that we are directly or indirectly exposed to every day. The loss in wars, school and mass shootings, celebrities and other individuals that get reported in the news, even the insects and rodents that make their way into our homes and are found dead. I have come to believe that it is our habit to form deep attachments to those we find dear that creates the immense feelings of loss when someone close passes. Over time, those feelings can lessen as our physical attachments grow weaker. But so often, we hold on to the emotional attachments, and we suffer grief that sometimes makes getting through each day hard. I tend to hold on to things and ideas and emotions, and I've noticed that most people I know, most people in my circle, also do. We are bound to tradition, to belief, and to habit. Drawing from our own cultural and societal practices, and even reaching out to and borrowing from others, we can create ritual to help us move beyond the loss. We did a pagan ritual this morning, one that was designed to remind us of our continued connection to our ancestors and to give us the opportunity to thank them for all they've given us. Whether you believe they are actually here with us or that they exist only in memory, it can be comforting to acknowledge their place in our world, and it can open up new ways of looking at our relationships to those who have died or are dying. Most of us associate that word ritual with religion or spirituality, but it doesn't have to be. It can be much more than that. One of the definitions the dictionary offers for the word is an act or series of acts regularly repeated in a set, precise manner. We all do ritual in our everyday lives. We rise in the morning. We brush our teeth. We take a shower. We make breakfast, read or watch the news, get dressed. We do ritual every Sunday in this church. We ring the bowl. light the chalice, sing a welcoming hymn. Ritual is more than habit. Every ritual we do is done intentionally and mindfully and serves a specific purpose, occupying an important place in our day. It becomes habit only when it is done without thought, losing our attention. We're already experts in conducting and participating in daily rituals. So how can we use what we know and apply it to grief and loss? And how does ritual help? Edward Kanda, in his article, Therapeutic Transformation in Ritual Therapy and Human Development, says that ritual is a tool for controlled transformation and that it includes 3 processes: disruption, transformation, and repatterning. Disruption occurs when we are hit with a loss, and again when we enter the ritual space. Transformation happens when we allow our relationship to whatever or whoever we lost to change. And repatterning begins as we make sense of the ritual and start to move forward. As we think about this time of the year and the people and animals we have lost, I'd like to invite you to join us in a simple ritual for letting go of that loss or another that is still with you. When you entered the sanctuary this morning, you should have received or picked up a small piece of paper and a pencil. Does anyone still need either of those? We'll get that to you. On this paper, write something that you would like to let go of. It could be something you're struggling with or something you no longer need. Grief from the death of a spouse, friend, or pet, resentment, anger, sadness. Be still and listen for a minute and hear what your heart is telling you. Once you have written on your piece of paper, you are welcome to come forward and place it in the bowl. If you like, say something simple like, "I release you in love." The water will dissolve the paper along with your words and their energy. This is special dissolvable paper, so honestly, it dissolves. For those of you who are online, although you can't participate in the ritual, give some thought during this time of how you might do this ritual at home. I've done this ritual several times, and although time doesn't allow it, if you watch for a bit, you can actually see not only the paper dissolve, but the words lift from the paper and spread out and disappear. It's pretty cool. It used to really upset me when I saw an animal by the side of the road that had died, sometimes for hours after. Now, to ease my own pain and honor the life of the animal, I use the following mantra, a kind of ritual, if you will. I've also begun to use it at funerals. I say, may your continued journey be in peace, and may you now be free from all suffering. This simple, ritualistic prayer or meditation, said with intention and purpose, has truly helped me let go of the grief associated with the animals that have died and even those that have been lost long ago. Do you have any rituals that help you? If not, can you think of any you could incorporate into your daily life that will help you with letting go? Thank you.
For hymn number 306, Sing of Living, Sing of Dying.
And since it's unfamiliar to some, could you play it all the way through?
Our final reading is a poem titled Requiem by Paul Fleischman. It's for two voices.
Carolina Sphinx moths,
Grant them rest eternal. Maple moths,
let
light undying, shine upon them.
Praying mantises.
Green darners,
Rest eternal. Black-winged damselflies.
brown darners, light undying,
Grasshoppers.
great crested,
Spur-throated.
three-banded, katydids,
Round-headed.
northern,
Gladiator.
cave crickets,
Cave
mole
crickets.
crickets,
Mole
tree crickets,
Tree
field crickets,
Grant them
rest
rest
eternal.
eternal.
Give them light undying. This past night, we had the fall's first killing frost.
Extinguishing the Chalice by Allison Ehrman. Without darkness, there cannot be light. Without death, there cannot be life. Without silence, there cannot be music. Without sorry, there cannot be joy. Let the darkness inspire us to be radiantly alive. So mote it be.
Go in peace and love for all beings, for those who have passed and those here now. Feel your connection to the earth in every step. Allow the air to fill your whole being. Respect the power of the fire within and without. Drink with gratitude the healing water of our earth, and hold close the spirit of those who have gone before, and closer still that of those who now share this life.